I felt it, and I know you have too. That sense of being trapped, stuck in the same cycle, chasing the same temporary promises while the world crumbles around you. For me to break this cycle, to find out how Jesus wants me to walk, I have to draw it. I had to look at the problem right in the eye and search for a solution. Welcome to Exploration Art with me, JR. This isn't a how-to channel. This is a record of my personal journey, using art to find clarity in a confusing world and in the ancient texts of the Bible. My goal is simple, to figure out how to walk with Jesus, and I hope you'll join me on my path. If you want to follow my journey of discovery, hit that like button and subscribe. The guidance I received became the heart of this entire project. I realized Jesus would want us to know that He is a constant presence in the world, and that the true measure of our faith isn't in what we gather, it is what we give, especially when we have nothing left. That profound simplicity inspired me to title this piece, Measure of a Soul. This piece is a scene of God's grace and ultimate survival. The casting away of misguided culture, the focus is on the light of a simple act of sacrifice breaking through. The context of that misguided culture is the golden calf, and the fuel of the fire is Mammon, the ancient term for the false god of wealth and material greed. It's the entire system that demands our time and loyalty. The chaos you see, the rotting bull, the crumbling city block, is the inevitable result of worshipping of this idol. I felt so struck by my own cycle of distraction. I had to sketch a way out. My sketchbook is my confession. To truly grasp the message of Jesus, I first had to understand the core problem. Why do we keep trading eternal for the temporary? That meant diving deep into the history of the golden calf to find context in this confusing biblical story. The incident happens around the 13th century BC, shortly after the Exodus. The Israelites were adrift in the wilderness. Culturally, they were surrounded by powerful established empires like the Egyptians and the Canaanites, who all had visible, powerful gods. The crisis began when Moses went out to Mount Sinai in Exodus 34 through 32. If you want to join me in this study, I recommend reading Exodus 24, the People's Oath, Exodus 32, the Idolatry and Insurrection, and Exodus 34, the Covenant Renewed. Moses was gone for 40 days. For the people, this delay wasn't just inconvenient, it was terrifying. Their tangible leader was gone, and the invisible God of fire and cloud felt distant. God was not absent. He was just giving the law. But in their fear of the unknown, the people created a spiritual void, which is precisely where Mammon, the desire for tangible security, rushes in. They created the golden calf. Culturally, the bull was a symbol of strength, fertility, and divine power across the region, often associated with gods like Egyptian Apis and the Canaanites El. When the Israelites built the calf, they were committing an act of, now forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, synchronism, mixing God's worship with pagan practices. They used their gold given to them by God to create a visible, powerful object that they could see and control. They wanted a God they could manage and predict. They held feasts and performed rites common in fertility worship. The Bible describes this in Exodus 32:6. The next day the people rose early and sacrificed burnt offerings and presented fellowship offerings. Afterwards, they sat down to eat and drink and got up to indulge in revelry. They sought Mammon's guarantee of material security rather than the trust in God's majesty. The tragedy is they didn't replace God, they just tried to contain Him in a shiny golden box. They were trading the eternal mystery for temporary control. That is the ancient cycle I am trying to break free of in my own life. How are they able to come back? Not by earning it, but through grace. While God justly judged their actions, Moses interceded. The Lord's response is the most profound answer to our failings. In Exodus 34:6-7, he reveals himself saying, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abound in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children of their children for the sin of their parents, to the third and fourth generation. The way back was paved not by their worthiness, but by God's steadfast character and mercy. Following their repentance, this realization that grace was always available even after we fall into the trap of Mammon. This is the light I must draw. I struggle with the temptation of Mammon just like everyone else. I look at this bull and I am drawing the very thing I am trying to resist. This whole phase is done in pencil because it's erasable. It forces me to remember that the bull promises control, but its foundation is temporary. Just like these pencil lines, this drawing is me wrestling with that choice. I have to ask myself, what are the consequences of chasing the golden calf? That struggle brings me back to the words of Jesus in Mark 8:36, where he says, "For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul?" If the pursuit of wealth costs us our soul, our very essence, then that pursuit is not a foundation, it's a trap. That's what this pencil work is about. My whole goal in this piece is to draw the trap so clearly that I can see the only way out. I'm trying to draw my own freedom, and that starts with the pencil. The concept is solid pencil, but the final artwork demands permanence. That commitment, that permanence of the ink, is what I have to face next week. I'm leaving the safety of the sketchbook, and I'll be transferring this design into pristine final paper. Next week, I have to take permanent ink and commit to rendering the darkness. It's terrifying but necessary to show what the true measure of a soul is, searching for how Jesus wants me to walk. Next week, I commit to the darkness with permanent ink. Before then, I'm genuinely curious. What's one habit or distraction, one modern golden calf, you're trying to break free from right now to clear the path for Jesus? Let me know in the comments. Let's walk this out together. I'm JR from Exploration Art. Thank you again for watching. Keep exploring, keep creating, and we'll see you in the next episode.